So you were deep in, huh? How'd you get so deep in? Because I don't think anyone would look at you and think this is the Coke guy.
Good. That was the whole thing. I mean, I certainly tried to talk about it on stage as having had like a drug and alcohol problem, but it just, I don't know. It didn't, something about me seems, so to me, it's like, well, of course the guy that seems like he has it all together has the problem. Because that's just like how life is.
That's Texas. Yeah, it's almost like
it's textbook.
Yeah.
But that's I don't put that on I don't put that on you to be like, how come you didn't see it then? Because I really thought that I was doing life, I was able to achieve it life with the drugs as opposed to in spite of them. It took me a long time over the past couple of years to realize that I did well at what I do in spite of drugs, not because of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'd be fun. Yeah, from an outsider, I would always look at him and be like, oh, that guy, yeah, drugs would not help that guy. Like that guy is his own, he is so unique in his own way that anything to abase that or something or debase that would only mess him up.
But I would have thought like, I'm delivering something people really like, and I think I'm delivering it because I take 2 30 milligram Adderalls and then 1 Z-bar, and so I'm really sharp, but I don't seem jittery, and so I go on a podcast or I go on a talk show, and I'm delivering, and I'm giving people what I'm naturally good at, but I'm a little tired, so I can't naturally do it. So it's okay. It's okay to rip open time-release Adderall and dump the beads down my throat and then pop a Klonopin, because then I will get to the level that I naturally am at. Like, I just got to deliver what I'm good at, and right now we're running on a lean mixture, and it used to be easier, but now it's harder. So whatever I'm putting in my body to get to that is fine.
So cocaine you liked?
Cocaine,
yeah, boy.
Xanax, Klonopin, Adderall, Percocet, Ritalin, any kind of speed.
Oh, so all that speed, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I would get so scared at night when I was high on cocaine, right?
Yeah.
That I would be like Googling what can I take with cocaine to go to sleep. And that would take me so many hours. I'd look at so many. There'd be like, you get on these answer sites and people's like, you
go to
dying,
Quora?
brother. Yeah. Yeah, I go to Quora, right? Or whatever that is, right?
Yeah.
Count down from 60 and you'll be dead. People would say stuff like that. And you're just like, oh my
So you didn't have like, because that's the thing. I actually, you didn't take any downers.
I didn't take any downers, so I would lay there in misery. Wow. I would Google, like, can I go to
May
the
I ask,
hospital?
did you know about downers?
I guess I knew about them, but I just had never taken them, and I was so scared to mix something with cocaine because I would die. It would kill me. That's what I was fearful
That
of.
was your worry, yeah. I kind of thought if I didn't have the right balance, yeah, I was more like, if I don't have enough in the right amounts, then something bad could happen. But as long as I'm balancing Coke and Adderall with Xanax and Klonopin, I'll be just fine. I remember I walked into my intervention. I'd just been to my drug dealer's apartment, and I finally got the right balance. Oh, yeah. One pocket, all Adderall and Coke. One pocket, all Xanax. And I was like, I have done it. I reached equilibrium.
Yeah.
Opened the door and bunch of people. Yeah. It's okay, though.
Were you high when you went to your
yes, but I was insisting that I hadn't used drugs in days. I went, look, I am sober right now. Look at me. I am sober right now, I kept saying.
And were you good enough to convince those people that you were?
No, I was pretty strung out by then, so it didn't. I could present really well for a long time.
Yeah.
But I'd reached a point where it was just off the rails.
I'm seeing that about you. You're a very good presenter.
It's a doctor at rehab was like, it scares me how good you are at presenting like everything's fine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that you were an addict, or did you know you were an addict?
I had like skin deep self-awareness of like, I have a drug problem. I love drugs. I like them too much. I don't like them the way other people like them. It's not like, oh, that was fun. Let's do that again in 2 weeks. Yeah. This was like, I think the plan for the morning should be to get more of that. Wow. I knew I liked them more than other people, but no, not to the depths that it was. What do I mean to say? I had a surface level awareness, and I would joke about that and say, you know, oh, I got sober in 2005, which I did, but I slowly got back into pharmaceuticals over the next, 13, 14 years. Prescribed, then not prescribed, or prescribed, then abused, but prescribed, then bought on the street, then everything.
Were you buying them off of Craigslist and stuff like that even?
No, I always thought that might be cops.
Smart.
Um,
And it's pressed pills. It's a lot of like, I have friends that have gotten
this
them
was
on
even
there.
before I had an awareness that there might be fakes out there like that.
Yeah.
I've definitely bought Adderall a couple times and snorted it and thought, what is this?
Yeah. Oh, I bought a whole thing of something one time and did it all. And it wasn't.
It wasn't cocaine?
Nope.
No, God. Ugh.
And I don't know what it is. And I still imagine one day I'm going to walk past a chemical and it's going to connect a little.
Oh, you'll smell it.
Or something.
You'll smell a chemical and you'll remember that was what you bought?
It'd be like, oh, it was me. Or something,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, the realization that I actually had no control over this took a long time.
Wow. It's a hard thing for people to convince. I still struggle sometimes, even if I sit in a meeting and there's still part of me that doesn't want to say I'm an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You know, or an addict.
To me, I go, it's more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get it. It's not, it's not that I'm like, it's not that just that cocaine's addictive and when I do it, I'm addicted. It's a different thing. I use it in a different way and the way I see it and my relationship with it. And it's just.
Yeah, I kind of have a romance. It's like I romanticize it.
100%.
I romanticize everything in my life in a weird way.
Me too, yeah. Those like being in Midtown Manhattan, have a meeting, have a big like production meeting on something.
And you could be on cocaine.
Get there half hour late. Desperate to have a cigarette, so like finding an abandoned office and smoking out the window and being almost very much in trouble and it being really clear. Those moments were so about surviving that hour that I never thought about them with any deeper perspective. I never thought, oh my God, what has my life become? I was just like, it would be easier to take the train. I'd be faster to take the train home to my cocaine, but I can't do coke on the train. So it was all just like figuring out the video game of being a drug addict.
Wow.
It was just a scramble for the present problem. And as soon as that problem was solved, I moved on. Wow. I wasn't like, I can't believe, I remember I went into a meeting holding a bottle of Pedialyte because I was not eating anything. I was just drinking Pedialyte, doing cocaine. And I was with people I knew and we were waiting for other people to join the meeting that we didn't know. And I said, if my nose bleeds or if I pass out, it's because I have a sinus infection. Don't worry, and I'll give a signal if I think I'm about to pass out. And then even to them, I was like, because I'm sick.
Right.
That's why.
Wow. Yeah. What's the signal too?
I can't remember. Geronimo. That'd be a great thing to say before you pass out and your nose explodes with blood.
Yeah.
that covered it well.
Did you ever end up in a really cool place doing drugs?
Meaning geographic place?
Yeah, or just like a dicey, like, Shoney's or something, some place that was a little deviant, Karaoke bar.
I'm trying to think.
Like, were you that guy that wanted to get deep into the trap houses and shit? Were you like kind of like the who was the guy, Anthony Bourdain of like trap houses and stuff like that?
What's a trap house?
A trap house is just like a place where people are doing drugs and there's like a lady who's like probably like, if you wake her up, she would have sex, maybe like in the back. No. It's like
Anthony Bourdain went to these?
No, he didn't, but he went to like food places.
He went to restaurants, yeah.
Right. Are you like the guy?
I was not the Anthony Bourdain of trap houses.
Yeah. Are you like, would you be that guy? Like, where's that kind of like, some people like to get into the depths of the 5 a.m., and like just the like, how weird can I get you?
No, the weirdest times for me were the days because that feeling of, when you haven't slept and the whole world has?
Yeah.
Just the way that warmth you feel in your bones. Going into Starbucks or like, man, like just running an errand and you're like, does everyone know? Can everyone tell? There's just something kind of like shinier about us.
Yeah.
Like just something like sleeker. We're just a faster animal. because like we didn't just lay down for 8 hours.
Oh,
And-
that's true. You are more alert, huh?
Oh, you're like an alley cat. Like an alley cat.
Yeah, and you're like a fucking but you're like
But things also become far more complicated, you know.
right. I would overthink things so much.
Overthink everything. Yeah.
You're like a ghost. You're like a fast fucking, like a Tesla ghost.
And you're like, these clothes don't look like someone put them on this morning.
Yeah.
These look like yesterday clothes.
Yeah. You almost
Not even that they're wrinkled, not even anything. You just have an air about you that says, I did not just rest.
Yeah.
But I think no one can tell if you're still gacked up enough to converse.
Yeah. Fuck. I would be so scared, dude. I would walk.
Yeah, my depth perception would feel weird.
Yes.
It's a lot of like cars.
Everything's coming in from the
everything's
sides.
coming fast. Yeah.
Oh. God, dude.
They're a disaster.
A disaster.
Drugs are a disaster.
And that's a nice thing to not have to worry about anymore, isn't it?
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm not in a crisis all the time. I don't judge people for having a harsh view of addicts. A lot of people have addicts in their lives, and you can't just go, it's a disease. And it can really, it's very painful to other people.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
It's a mess. They're a mess.
yeah.
Life's so hard already. Life's like a table piled high with so much shit. Like when you go to like a little restaurant and the tiny circular ass table and they don't have room for anything.
Oh, yeah.
The table piled high with shit, and drugs come in, and drugs you think are going to solve all your problems, and they kick the legs out from under it.
Yeah.
They're just a mess. They're a disaster.
Yeah.
They're a disaster.
Hope you enjoyed that video, and you can watch another. And you can watch this one, you can watch this one. Different options, different choices. Some guy just brings you one option, not this guy. 2 options. Watch one, this one or this one.